The 2025 Chicago Cubs had a really good year, but didn't it feel like it was just missing something? Well, he's right here.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Sam Olber. I'm a lifelong fan taking my passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. Justin Steele is here, as you all could see. I was not technologically savvy enough to wait till the intro, so I just had him there. Justin, how are you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show. Always great to have you on. I think it's third or fourth time with us. I think third. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, as always. Always love coming on here, talking baseball, talking whatever with you. I'm a listener, as you know, of the show every week, a few times a week usually. But so I enjoy coming on here, chit-chatting, talking with you. I'm doing great, though, man. The rehab process is going about as smoothly as it could go.
That's great to hear. I think that's probably where we should start. I mean, we're going to talk about the 25 Cubs. We're going to talk about some football. But I think I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask, how's the arm feeling? You just mentioned a little rehab recovery. How's all that stuff been going? I'm seeing you're all over social media throwing the baseball, so that's good to see.
Yeah, it's going really well. The first day of actual throwing, I've been throwing plyometric balls for the past probably 3-4 weeks leading up to this, and it's been just really easy, really smooth. This week was my first actual week of playing, catch with a baseball and stuff. And it's funny, I was telling the coaches and stuff because like everybody, all the coaches and coordinators were kind of around, like watching for the first throw and everything, and I made a joke. I was like, guys, it's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. And I just like kind of fired the first one like right at his chest and just kind of took off from there. So it's just been smooth sailing, been easy going. It feels really good. I've been telling the coaches and stuff. It feels like, 5 or 6 months ago when I was throwing against the Rangers, minus the, elbow inflammation or whatever I was dealing with at the time. Feels brand new. It feels really good.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it brought me a lot of joy to see you throwing a baseball again, especially after the team got eliminated from the playoffs. Like that was just like a nice little pick me up seeing you throw the baseball again. How was it? This might be a tough question to answer, but like, how was it 2025? We're going to talk about the team. How was it watching from either the dugout or from home? I mean, obviously it was a very good season, but just knowing you, the competitor in you, how did you have to balance that, and how tough was that?
Yeah, first and foremost, like I obviously want to be out there competing in those moments while I'm watching it on TV happening and stuff. So that's like the main thing that's in the front of my mind. But it was also like just kind of cool to just like kind of be a fan this year and just watch on the TV. Obviously it was really cool to go watch from the dugout and stuff when I was with the team in Chicago and whatnot. But it was really cool just kind of take a step back, watch it from my own living room, my own couch. It really kind of made me ignite a different kind of flame, if that makes sense, for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Just like following it like that instead of, having to follow it each and every day, sitting in the dugout. It was just a different perspective kind of unlocked for me. And it was a really entertaining season. Like just thinking back on it, how entertaining it was to watch PCA come to fruition, really break out as a superstar. And, he's going to, in my opinion, as he gets older and matures more, he's going to be able to piece together the entire season. I forget exactly how many home runs he had at the break. It was like
25, something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I was like, is this guy going to hit 40, 45 home runs this year? As he gets older and matures, he's going to be able to piece the entire season together. I mean, there's so much talent in that kid. It's unbelievable. It was really fun to watch him. And it was really cool to watch the rotation kind of unfold the way it did with me going down and different injuries happen. Kade Horton,
I'll be asking you about those.
I was like, is it official? Is he rookie of the year? Is that official?
I don't think it's official, but I think it will be.
Okay, yeah. I mean, watching that happen was just really cool. That's something that all all fans across Chicago can look forward to in a Cubs uniform, watching that guy pitch every 5th day. So that's something that's really exciting as well.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about him. When you say watching gave you a different perspective, is there anything you felt like from a pitching standpoint? Like I sit here all the time and couch coach, for however many games and go, hey, you know what? Maybe we're setting up inside too early or that location there. Was there anything you felt like, especially when you weren't at Wrigley, when you were watching at home with the family, that you're like, hey, you know what? This actually could help me for next year. Like any new perspectives on that?
Yeah, I definitely found myself couch coaching as well. Like talking to my wife, saying like, I'll throw this pitch here. I'd be focused on this right here. So I think it just kind of gave me a different appreciation of like the different small moments within the game. Because like when you're in the heat of the moment, you're just kind of focused on getting the guy at the plate out because you can't be worried about so many different things. But it gave me a different awareness of like different situations within the game because I was able to watch it from like, a third eye view. I'm like, this situation is a good moment to pick off because he's probably expecting a ball in the dirt since it's a 1-2 count. I just threw a fastball high. Those different kinds of situations start unfolding. And you're able to see it play out in your mind. I was able to watch Matt Boyd pick off like 19 guys this year.
Right.
So like that being able to watch that really helps me because like my move's not that great. So
I don't remember your move at all.
It's not that great. My step off move, my quick one, is a lot better than my actual like pick my leg up because when I pick my leg up and like go to the plate, like my knee caves in towards home plate, and it's really hard for me to make a throw to first base and do that with my leg as well. So that's kind of why my move, I need to work on it. That's not an excuse by any means, but I need to work on it. So watching someone like Matthew Boyd pick off so many guys, it's like, man, if you think about it, if you get 21 outs, that's a lot of innings worth of outs that you're just picking off and it's free outs. So that really goes a long way.
Do you think that's why he's a Gold Glove candidate or is that separate? Do they count pickoff
I would
moves?
imagine it has to be.
Okay.
I would imagine that goes towards your defensive WAR instead of your like pitching WAR.
Okay. All right.
I would have to imagine. I don't know I'm not an analytical nerd when it comes to WAR and stuff, but
yeah. Listen, you know me. Okay. Don't start now. I'm getting all jumbled up here. All right. Last question about you. And then we'll dive into the team and have some fun. I even have a little game we're going to play.
Okay.
It's impossible for you. I'm sure that this is all training staff. Is there a month, date, time where you're like, if I keep going like this, I'm going to be back by X?
It's really hard to put like a definite date on it. I will say that I'll say this, and this is like, there's no problem with me saying this. It's the rate I'm going and how good it feels to throw. I don't see any hiccups or any bumps in the road at all happening. So whatever I'm supposed to do that day, I'm going to be able to do it that day, and we're going to be able to check boxes all in order as we go. With that being said, I imagine I'll be on some kind of pitch limit, innings limit going like once I'm coming back from this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I myself and the team will probably be cognizant of that going on and want me to throw in a timely manner where the innings that I'm throwing will matter most.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very, very well answered. Very well media trained. All I know is that I have some dates in mind that I've put out myself because that's what I do. And whenever it is, I will be at Wrigley Field for that first start. I don't care if it's 50 pitches, 75 pitches. I don't think it'll be any more than that. Whatever it is, I will be there. If it's a boring game, I'll probably leave when you get removed. But I will be there with all the support that you've shown this show. I will be there and I will be locked in, locked on, whatever pun you want to say, because I miss watching 35 on the mound. I'll tell you that.
I miss being out there. I miss competing at the highest level, man. It's something that you don't really realize you have it until it's taken away from you, and I certainly miss it.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk about a little bit Justin touched on. I want to talk some details of 25 and talk about some of these great Cub performances. We're going to do that next.
Today's episode is brought to you by Rougiette. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. And when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support, and that's where Rougiette comes in. Rougiette.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rougiette makes it to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, no awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private, and it's all handled by real doctors. Visit Rougiette.com, RUGIET.com/LockedOnMLB to get 15% off your first order. Rougiette.com/LockedOnMLB, and don't forget to use our code LockedOnMLB so that they know we sent you. Rougiette, stop making excuses and start making moves.
We are back here with Cubs ace. And yeah, I'm still going to say it. Cubs ace, Justin Steele. To me, down the stretch of the season, the offense was up and down, but it really did feel like, even in spite of Kade's resurgence, that, man, did we miss 35? And especially against the Brewers. I don't know if you're aware of this, but your career numbers against the Brewers, it's the team you've faced the most, and it's the team that you've performed the best against. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, you're certainly aware as you're facing a team that much. Like I remember, I felt like there was 2 or 3 years ago, like it felt like I had like three out of 5 starts. Or it might have even been like 4 out of my 5 starts was like against the Brewers because we like played them at home, then we played them at their place. So, like every time we play them, I've pitched against them, and
that's how Freddie is against us.
Yeah, exactly. It feels the exact same way with Freddie Peralta. And what I'll say is it just feels like a really tight competitive match every time I face off against them. And it just feels like an intense game. Every pitch matters. It feels like anything could change with any pitch or any swing. And I love those kinds of games. I love intense games. And, I enjoy pitching against them. It's always competitive.
Shifting over to 2025, you brought up PCA, and you and I just a little bit, in the times that we had a chance to chat off the air, we talked about PCA, and you are as big of a PCA fan as probably anybody listening to this show. The first half of the season, literally, people don't realize, they laugh now, easily could have been the MVP of the league because at that point Shohei wasn't even pitching yet. The second half of the season, not so much. I want to ask you from a player's perspective, 23 years old, playing every day, Wrigley Field, all the expectations, and it seems like he puts even more expectations on himself. Do you believe, number one, hey, this guy is an absolute bona fide superstar, but two, is it fair to say that fatigue is a part of it at that age in the second half? I mean, what do you think? And just kind of evaluate a season if you'd like.
It most certainly is. That's why baseball is the craziest sport of them all, because 162 games, for me, it's 30 to 32 starts. Like, you can't replicate that in any shape or form or fashion in your off-season training, in the minor league seasons leading up to getting to the big leagues. Like, even though the minor leagues is 140, I believe it is, like, that still doesn't compare to 162. Like, I can't stress it enough how big of a jump it is. And I think with maturity, and I'm speaking for myself, and I'm just kind of like applying it to PCA's position as well. Like when I was, first coming up, the most amount of starts I'd ever made in the minor leagues was 20 starts, I believe, when I was in Myrtle Beach, and that was the year I blew out. It was, I think it was like my 100th inning. It was my 20th start. It was going to be my last start of the year. It was something like that. It was kind of crazy. And then I went into the offseason and rehabbed. But I remember being tired at that point. I was like getting tired at that point because that was the most I'd ever thrown up until then. And then obviously COVID happens, 2019, a bunch of crazy stuff happens. And then I get to the big leagues, relieve a little bit. So I'm not really taxing like my full gas tank at all between those two times. And then I had my 22 and then 23 season where I jumped to like 120 innings and then 170 something. If I wouldn't have had that like 120 inning season and I would have just jumped to the 170 like I would have been running out of gas at inning 130 probably.
Right.
And I could say the same thing about the season before that where I was throwing 120. Like if I wouldn't have had that Myrtle Beach season where I got up to 100 innings, that 120, I would have been getting gassed at 80 innings. And like that's kind of how it works. Like there's no way to condition yourself for a 162 game season without going through it and learning from like, all right, I got tired at this point. This is what I was doing at this point during last year. What can I do different to be more prepared at this point?
And I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, you and Pete are similar in terms of your competitiveness, right? Like,
Yeah.
is that fair? Like, and so I think you're a good person to ask this to, and it's different being a pitcher and pitching once a week versus playing 162. But you have a guy like Pete, and we don't even forget Pete. Let's just use anybody as an example. Pete is a Pete type player, a Justin Steele type guy is never going to go to the manager and go, Skip, I need a day. I'm mentally tired. You know what I mean? You guys just are never going to do that. Is there a time where like the manager comes up and says, hey, you know what? The at-bats or whatever, the innings, it looks like it's not anything bad, but it looks tired. We're going to switch you for a day. Is that something that like, does that happen a lot in the bigs, or was somebody like a Pete or an everyday player, you just say, hey, they're going to play 160. Dansby's another one. They're going to play every day. Let them be. They'll get out of their mental fatigue. They'll get out of their funk. Like, how does that work?
I would think that's player to player, and no one player's specific to another one. Like one thing works for another player, it's not going to work for another one. That's not really how it works. Like I think that does work in some situations where if a guy's struggling, like it looks off, and like you give him a day off or 2 days off, and then he's back to normal.
Sure.
Like there's certainly there's some guys that are like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like sometimes you just need a mental break. You need a day off. Like most people work a 9 to 5 and they get weekends off. Like 162 games, it's straight. Like you're playing,
and they take some days off during the week anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the physical toll, which is like by far the hardest part is like keeping your body up for 162 physically. It's the mental toll. It's the mental preparation for every single game, every single day. It's the like when I'm making 30 starts, like I'm not as eager to go into the meeting and talk about the lineup about to face as on start 25 as I was start 5. Start 5, I'm feeling really good. I'm ready to get out on the mound. Start 25. It's August or September, whatever the case may be. I'm looking at the calendar, like when's playoffs, like how many more starts in the regular season do I have? So it's a completely different animal.
Totally. All right. Do you have a favorite memory of the 25 season, favorite moment that sticks out to you as like that was either watching from the dugout or from home that sticks out?
The first one that came to my mind right away when you said it was Ian Happ's home run in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, me and Nicky Lopez was freaking out on the top step. I believe him. One of us called it. It was just like such a whirlwind of emotions in the moment and stuff. Like we were like, man, like this would be a sick moment for it, and it happened, and we both just went nuts.
Great moment.
I mean, just watching Pete in that first half really turn into a superstar.
Mine was Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just the emotions of like the summer at Wrigley, like leading up to the summer right there. Like, everything was clicking. It's hard to put like a specific moment during that time, but it was
I'll give you one.
The totality of the first half.
There were two. The two for me in the first half was when he made the diving catch against Milwaukee in I think the top of the 8th, and then he hit the ball off the scoreboard. I think the first pitch of fouling. And am I wrong? I think that was off Rob Zastryzny. I could be wrong.
I think so.
It was off a lefty, whatever. Shout out to Rob Zastryzny.
I'm good friends with Rob, so I hate that he just caught a stray.
I know, but I was just gonna say shout out to him. I had a great conversation with him at CubsCon. Super nice guy.
Yeah, I love Rob. He's the man.
But it was that moment and then the grand slam in Cincy. Those two regular season that was like. I was like, all right, man. Like I was starting to think about it was giving me like very Derek Rosie type of vibes.
Yeah.
You and I spoke about that, but like it was just like it just felt like, all right, the city, go take the city, Pete.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I want to ask you one kind of, I don't know how to phrase it. I'm not going to say nerdy question, but put on your meteorology cap for a second. I don't know if you took that over in high school in Mississippi, but
We had welding class.
the Wrigley winds. This is
Mhm.
something that this show has been talking about for a couple years. It's been very pitcher friendly the last couple years. Ironically, the last time it was hitter friendly, you, my friend, were very close to winning the Cy Young Award. So I don't think it's going to impact you a lot. But when you're especially watching this year and watching all these 3-2, 4-3, 3-1 games in the middle of the summer, where you kind of like, have you talked to anybody? Have you talked to like JMO or anybody about the wind? Does anyone have like an actual theory why this is happening?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the players, we all talk about the wind. It's every day we talk about it. Like when we're pulling up to the ballpark, it's like the first thing we discuss. Like if I'm starting that day and the wind's howling out, I'm going up to JMO as I walk into the locker room. Like, all right, I got to get the ball by people today. Don't let them hit it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a pop up, it's gone. Same thing, vice versa. Like, specifically me, JMO, Boyd, like we kind of talk about that stuff. We talk about the wind, Kade as well. Like that's just something you have to be aware of, especially as a starting pitcher. Like if you want to go deep into the game, like you have to know what the wind's doing. When the wind's howling in, I try to get through 6 innings with 60 pitches and just try and take it from there. Like I'm here, hit the ball, try and hit it out, please.
Like the Rangers game.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just, and the hitters are the same way. And I can imagine how frustrating it is, like showing up to the ballpark every single day and the wind's just blowing in. And you kind of have to change your approach and your game plan as the offense that day. Whereas usually when you're on the road, you're not even thinking about it.
I think it's really weird. I think if it happens again this year, it's going to start impacting strategy. But it doesn't matter what I think. One more question. We'll go to break.
I think it already does impact strategy, to be completely honest.
No, but I misspoke. I mean acquisitions, off-season stuff. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? With it, maybe we get a fly ball pitcher because of this or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe that already happens this year. I don't know. And that's why Bush's season was so remarkable because, you know, the wind was blowing in from right center field the whole year.
One of the most underrated, under-talked about seasons this past season was Michael Bush hitting 34,
38,
38 with playoffs.
Yeah.
100%. Left-handed hitter, first base, playing in Chicago at that field and still hitting that many pumps.
When you look at his homers to right field, they're like 108, nukes. 27 degrees,
nukes,
400, but they don't seem like it because they get into the second row because the wind is just howling it back in.
Yeah.
Last question before the break: do you, Justin Steele, still care about the pitcher win stat?
If a pitcher has a lot of wins, yes. If a guy is 1-6, I don't necessarily relate that directly to his performance. But if a guy is 15-2, he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just. Someone asked me this the other day. Said, would you rather go 18-5 with a 3.41, or would you rather have like a skiing season where you're a game under 500, but you got like a 1.85? I think the easy answer is I'd rather just bank in the 18-5. You know, the team's going to be winning more games then, right? I don't know.
It depends what your ultimate goal is. Skiing is probably going to get you paid. The other one's probably going to win you a championship.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to win titles, man. All right, more with Justin Steele. We're going to talk a little Kade Horton for just a bit, and then I got some football stuff I got to run by him because he knows more about football than I. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Folks, Justin Steele, I am hot right now, and I would like to give away another play. And I got to tell you, it's a really tough week for me. I don't have anything I love. I'm going to go with the unpopular pick of the Cleveland Browns plus 6.5 in New England. I think the Bears have a tough game this week, guys. Baltimore by 6.5. I'm just a little bit concerned if, is Lamar fully healthy? If he is, I think the Bears are in trouble. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. All right, we are back here with Justin Steele. Before we talk some football, I just wanted to get your final take. Just what a year from Kade Horton. Is there anything about his repertoire specifically that you saw or talked to him about where you were like, "Whoa, I didn't realize you had that, man"?
Yeah, what by far stood out the most was the development of the changeup at the big league level, because from my understanding, leading up to, coming up through the minor leagues and stuff, it was his fastball and his breaking pitches that he was using to get outs. And I don't know if it was because the balls are different. Like they spin different, they come off your fingers different, minor leagues compared to the big league balls. I can attest to that. It was an adjustment I had to make myself. So I don't know if that's true. I haven't asked him directly if hey, do you feel like the changeup is a little more comfortable? You have more feel for it with these big league balls compared to the minor league balls.
Sure.
Is that why you're able to lean on it a little bit more? But I mean, that's by far the biggest thing was right away at the big league level, he had an elite changeup, and versus lefties that as a right-handed pitcher with his cut ride, four-seam fastball and that changeup playing off of it, that's just dynamite against lefties.
Is that as somebody like yourself or Ben Brown, who we hear all the time, two pitch, you're a little bit different with your two pitches, as I always have said on this show. I look at it as like four pitches, but when you see something like that with Kade, do you ever go hey, you know what? Should I work? Let's work on some grips together. And, because everybody always says, hey man, if Steele had, a nasty changeup or a splitty or whatever it is, it would be game over. Do you ever look at something like that with Kade and say, hey man, let's talk. Let's, maybe I should, let's, and he has that cut ride that you have. You ever discuss that and think about adding that? Or is it too hard? Especially now when you're hurt, is it too hard at the big league level to just start throwing stuff at yourself?
No, it's not. It's not too hard at the big league level. That's always going on at the big league level. Pitchers are always asking how we throw different pitches, different thought processes. And there's something I always like to say. It's not how you hold it, it's how you throw it. And that's kind of something you should think about as, if you're a young pitcher.
Let me jot that down for myself.
That's the ultimate thing that a little kid is asking is what's his grip? How does he throw it? And it's what ultimately matters is how you throw it and what you do with it. So with Kade, I've asked him about his changeup grip. I think it's pretty similar to mine already. He throws a kind of a splitterish changeup. Vulcan, there's a bunch of different names for it. But the way it comes off his hand is kind of similar to the way mine comes off my hand. The only difference is he's a lot more consistent with it.
Is that something that you're going into this year thinking about more consistent? Because we didn't really get a chance to watch you fully. You mixed in a little bit of a third pitch early on. Is that still something that's on your mind?
I was definitely throwing more sinkers as this season was starting to unfold, and that would have definitely started to tick up as the season played out. I would think that as well with my changeup as I began to get more feel with it. I was starting to get more feel with it as the season played out last year. And that's kind of one of those things you don't want to throw it a lot if you're not very comfortable with it. So as you get more feel, more comfortable with it, you start breaking it out more.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that for you. All right, let's talk a little football. Our two teams actually just squared off against each other. The Saints are not a very good football team. I actually think they're a little bit better than I thought. The Bears are really odd because they're 4-2, but everything tells me that they're not. That they've gotten some fluky takeaways, and I don't know if that's sustainable. 16 takeaways over 4 games. What has been your take? And folks, if you don't know this guy knows football, man. And I mean, he knows way more about football than I do. He's like my dad with football. what's been your take? First, start with your team if you want to, and then have you watched the Bears? Is there anything that you're excited about with the Bears, or are you kind of with me where it's kind of like it's 4-2, but let's beware?
I will dive into this without giving like too personal of takes.
Yeah,
I don't want to take jabs or like make someone feel bad or anything. But we're all grown ups. We're all
this is Locked On Cubs.
We're all professional. We're all grown ups here. It seems like with the Bears, if Caleb Williams is able to elevate his performance, that they are a real contender in the playoffs.
Wow.
Everything else is clicking. He has the wide receivers around him. It seems like their line's been better. Like it's like when he scrambles, it's usually after 3 seconds of a clean pocket. And he's usually scrambling at that point to make a throw. You very rarely see him take a 2-step drop back and then deliver a dart from that, like you would see a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. Usually it's him. It's almost like he feels more comfortable making those off-platform throws, and that's like where he like thrives at. But those just aren't high successful rate plays, and you can't make a 10-play drive off of plays consisting only of that. But with Ben Johnson, you can already see Ben Johnson and how he's able to get really creative with the offense. He can create plays and create touchdowns. For a lack of words, Caleb Williams is what's kind of holding them back right now. And as he progresses and gets better, the team will only get better with him.
Wow. Love that take. I don't disagree with it. I was listening to the Ringer, the Ringer podcast with Bill Simmons and their fantasy guys, and they were doing like, what's your craziest prediction the rest of the season that may come true? And I think Simmons said, like week 13, the Bears are still hanging around, but as you said, Williams is struggling and they bench him for Bagent. I don't think that'll happen. And I don't think he's played horribly, but at all. I don't think he's played badly, but I agree with you. It does feel like if they're going to get to another level, the only thing I disagree with you on is like, I don't think the rest of the pieces are there either. I think the coach is really good. But defensively, it feels just a little fluky to me from what I've watched. But what other stuff have you noticed football-wise? I mean, like you said, the Saints are your team, but hard to lock in on them in a rebuilding season. What else has stuck out to you football-wise as a fan, man?
I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. The Chargers need to get their offensive line figured out. The first 3 games, they went 3-0 against their own division. They beat the Chiefs, they beat the Raiders, and they beat the Broncos 3 first games of the season. And then I believe they proceeded to lose 3 in a row. I believe that's how it went. But the thing that happened was their offensive line started getting injured.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert started running for his life. He's not able to, get through his progressions because he's having to run and get out of the way of danger, which he can. He's an active quarterback. He can run well. But you can, like I just said, you can't sustain an offense making plays like that every single drive. So that with the Chargers, I like their defense. I still believe in them as the season progresses. I just think they need to get their offensive line figured out. Patriots have been a great surprise. Drake May has took another step forward, in my opinion.
He's good.
Even with like not the best wide receiver room in the NFL, like he's still making it happen with what he has. That's been really fun to watch. I love Mike Vrabel. I love what he's been able to do there in New England. I think Cam Ward is a lot better than what people think or are giving him credit for.
Folks, he loves football, this guy.
Some of the throws that he's delivering, how quick his release is, like it's just very natural to him what he's able to do. And speaking of not having a wide receiver room, like he has not talking crap about those guys because I know they're professional athletes, but like he's not dealing with the best stuff around him. His head coach just got fired. He's running for his life. He's doing different things. So Cam Ward has really impressed me this season from what I've been able to watch. What else do we have? Give me something.
First of all, I'll say it because you're a professional athlete. You can't. I watched a few games of the Titans this year, and I think I could have coached them. And I know nothing about football like that. Like I can't call plays. That team was they were so poorly coached. So I'll say that. All right. I'm trying to think of any more football takes. I have one baseball game I want to play. We're going overtime. I'm taking more of your time than I said, which is what I'm not supposed to do. That's not being a good host. But anything else? I know we talked a little bit off the air. I'm a huge fan of this guy. I think he's had an unbelievable year. You want to give us 30 seconds on Dak?
I was a big believer in Dak coming into this season for many, many reasons.
I like Dak.
I won't claim out my wagers or what I've done, but I have told people that he would either lead the league in one of these or multiple of these, either passing yards, touchdowns, or interceptions. I've been on the record saying those three before the season started were solid bets. And I think if you look today, I haven't looked today, he's doing pretty well. All the signs were just pointing towards it. They didn't have the best run game. Bringing in Javonte Williams was kind of like a last grasp. He's been really good for them, but their defense hasn't been that great, so they're going to be in shootouts. If they're going to be competitive, Dak's going to need to throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns a game. That's just how it's going to have to happen. And even with the running game, if they brought in Javonte catches the ball out of the backfield, it's just everything kind of lines up for him to have a really good season. I even bought some of his rookie cards. I was buying his gold vinyls. I was invested in Dak going into this season.
Do you know who their defensive coordinator is?
It's Eberflus.
Yeah, former Bears coach.
Do you know who your defensive coordinator is?
Of course I do. Your former coach.
Yeah.
And he got to win. All right, real quick game before we get out of here. I owe you something for keeping you way too long, but you give great answers. I can't help that.
No, you're fine. I enjoy this.
I have Justin Steele verse. I'm going to name a player. I'd like you to guess what their numbers are versus you. I got I got like 5 names, but I combined 3 of them. Okay.
Oh God. All right. Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Justin Steele versus Andrew McCutchen.
I think I throw well against him. I'm gonna what numbers are you looking for?
Just give me what you think hits per at bats, or
I'm gonna say I've faced him close to 5th between 12 and 17 times.
You'd be correct.
I'm gonna say he has 2 to 4 hits.
Correct.
All singles. Has he clipped me before?
No, he has not.
All singles, maybe. I don't remember a double.
You're correct. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is this is just straight off the dome. So that's the numbers I would say. I've maybe walked him twice.
2 for 17 with a walk in 18 appearances. No extra base hits.
That's pretty good right off the dome.
That's fantastic. All right. I got 2 more. I'm going to group these 3. Okay. And then I got one that's going to go a little bit the other way. Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman combined.
0 for 3. 0 for 2 with a walk.
Correct.
And then Freddie, I don't think he has a hit against me.
None of them have hits.
0 for 5. 0 for 5.
Yeah, 0 for 9, all 3 combined with a walk to Soto.
I just nailed it?
Nailed it.
Wow.
I was at that game, by the way. I believe when you faced Freddie.
To be fair, Shohei almost took me deep in Tokyo to lead off the game in Tokyo. It almost put a hole in the roof.
Yeah, and then there's Tommy Edman. All right, last one. Tommy Edman, if he's hitting righty versus the Cubs, he is righty Mickey
hitting
Mantle.
a homer.
Yeah,
he's hitting a homer.
All right, last one. This is an honest show. We have to have some fun. Justin Steele versus Tyler Stevenson.
He's either 11 or 12 for 19 off me.
That's correct. Yeah.
And guess what? He owned my butt in the minor leagues as well. And I swear he's hit every single pitch I can throw for extra base. Like change up, curveball, slider, sinker, four seam. He's hit them all. I don't know what it is.
Have you ever said anything? Have you guys ever spoke?
No. Probably gonna start sending him a Father's Day card.
Yeah.
Every Father's Day is just like a joke. Just be like, dude, like Happy Father's Day.
That's really the only guy I found that was like really severe long term. Like Connor Joe had a decent number.
Connor Joe, he swings the bat well off me. I don't know what it is about Connor Joe. I just feel like same thing. Like no matter what pitch I throw, it just goes right to his barrel.
Oh man. All right. Well, this was a blast, man. Thank you so much for coming on again. And best of health luck to you. I speak for every Cub fan. We cannot wait, whether it's April, May, whenever it is, to see you back out there. It is going to be such a sight for sore eyes. And we love having you on, and we love having you on the Ball Club.
Thanks for having me, Sam. It's always fun to come on here. I'll come on here anytime you want me to. Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This is Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale for the World Series. They'll be on after every game. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB channel on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. For Sam Olber, Justin Steele, have a great weekend, everybody.